Okay, this is Mr. McEwen, and this is a Fusion 360 tutorial on Build a Box. And in this tutorial, you'll learn how to build this simple 3D modeled box that you can print on a 3D printer. It's made up of 3 components. You have the box, you have a lid, and possibly a handle. The lid itself has an inset so that it will fit inside the box and stay on. Okay? We'll also be creating some sketches for the shape and some construction planes so that we can work in different places other than the 3 origins. So to get started, let's just go ahead and click on File and New Design. Okay. If you don't have your grid, just make sure your grid layout from the bottom is clicked. Turn on your origins by clicking this little icon. It gives you your origin planes. And to start, we're going to create a sketch. It's the first button in the toolbar. You can always use the drop-down menu as well. And it wants you to pick a plane. So I'm going to hover on these planes. We're going to use the bottom plane because we're going to build this box from the bottom up. Okay, we're in the sketch menu now. The tools have changed to just sketches like lines and circles and rectangles. You have a trim tool that we're going to use, and then at the bottom, at the back right here, you have the finished sketch which we'll use when we're done with the sketch. All right, to create that shape, we could do it with just lines, but I'm going to create a rectangle. And as I pull out, I'm not clicking. I clicked once, and then I'm pulling out so that it's a rectangle. And I'm going to type 5. And press the tab key, and then press 7 for the side. And there is, when I press enter, it creates that rectangle. I can easily go into either of these dimensions and change them. Oh wait, 5, enter. Yeah. But we're gonna leave it this. So if you mess that up, just click on it and change it to what you want. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the rounded edge, and we're going to do that by using circles. And the easiest one to use is the 2-point circle. Okay, so the first point of circle is going to be here in this corner, and the second one will be in this corner. And it should snap to those points, so it's pretty easy. Click in this point, and we want the other one to be right here. And there we've kind of got the outline of the shape, but we're going to use the trim tool up here, the scissors, to trim away the parts we don't want. And see how it highlights in red? So we're going to delete that part, we're going to delete that part, and we're going to delete that part. You cannot delete this part right now. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click Finish Sketch either from here or here, and there is our basic shape for our box. Now we're going to turn this 2D sketch into a 3D shape by using the Extrude tool, which is the second tool in the toolbar, or in the drop-down menu right here. Okay. It automatically knows that this is the plane we're going to work with. I can grab this arrow and pull up. I'm going to say let's make it 5 cents, or I can click in this distance on the Extrude tool box, or dialog box, which is going to be for every tool you create or use. A toolbox is going to pop up, and it's important to look at some of the things that are in here. So the distance, 5 centimeters up, sounds just fine. Yeah, let's make it 7. Let's make it a little bit bigger. No, maybe 6. All right, let's do 6. You can see the profile, which is this, the distance, and it's going to create a new body. All right, let's hit OK. And there is our first body over in the browser right here. Okay. I'm actually going to call that box. Just by clicking in it, typing, it's going to be called box. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to shell it. We're going to create the hollow space inside of the box. Okay. So this tool it's called shell. It's this one that looks like a hollowed out cube, or in modify you can come down to shell as well. Okay, this is important. Here's the dialog box. You can click on faces or bodies. So if I click on the top here, I actually have to go around and click everything. All right, and that can get confusing. But if I come over here and just click on the body that says box, it clicks the entire body. All right. And then it's asking what is the inside thickness. We're going to make the is in centimeters. I think about 0.5, which would be a 5 millimeters thick is just fine. And I'm going to click OK. Well, the inside of this body is now hollow with 5 millimeter thick walls. So in order to fix that, we need to actually slice the lid off. Okay, so we're going to we need a plane that's about a centimeter down. So we're going to create an offset plane. The tool dialog box comes up. It's asking what plane do you want to offset. Let's click on the top, and we're going to go down. We want to go down a half a millimeter. Half a centimeter, let me see. So it's going to be minus 0.5. That's centimeter, like that. And the word offset means if you click a plane, an offset plane would be a plane that's in the same, just a distance in one direction. So this plane now is 5 millimeters below the top of the box. Okay. So now we need to slice this body into two pieces, one being the top, which is going to become the lid, and the bottom, which is going to become the body. So that's another modify, because we're going to do something to a existing body. And if you click on the drop-down menu, oh, actually, I think it's right there. Split body is right here. Basically, it takes one body and splits it using a tool. So we're going to click on that. The dialog box comes up. It says, hey, what body do you want to split? So we're going to click on this body, and I'm going to click on this. What tool I'm going to do? I have to actually click into this tool and then click the construction plane. And do you see how that little cutting tool comes up? It's going to slice that body in two. I'm going to hit OK. And instantly over here in the browser, under bodies, you have the box, and you have box 1, which I'm going to call lid now. Okay. Wow. Amazing, huh? So that is that's pretty much it. If I click M for move, the move dialog comes up. So I clicked M, and if I click on the top lid, I can actually move it in one direction and show you the inside of it is hollow. And the bottom is exactly like I wanted it to be. Click OK. Okay. So now let's put a handle in the middle of this. What I need to do is be able to either draw on a plane that's in the middle of it, or I can extrude up or something. So let's just use the sketch tools again. But in order to get a plane where I want it, I'm going to create a construction plane at a mid plane. Okay, between two. So it's like, where are the two planes you want to create a plane between? Here. And if I flip it over here, do you see how it's got a plane there in the middle now? I can click OK. So now if I create a sketch on this plane, let's see if I can get it. Anything I draw here I can extrude into a solid body, and it can become my handle. So I'm just going to click on this rectangle. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to create a handle that goes from that point. Oops. To that point. Let me back up a little bit. Where's my pitch? Okay. I know they're not touching, but that's because they're going to become separate bodies anyways. As long as it's flat, I'll be able to create. So another tool that's kind of fun under the sketch tool is, or fillet. Sorry, fillet. If you click on that and you just click on corner, you can see that it wants to bring it in. I'm going to click on this corner as well, and then I'm just going to kind of pull it in a little bit and hit OK. Let's finish that sketch. Okay. Now it's just a sketch in 2 dimensions. What I want to do is I want to extrude it out just like I did the body. So I'm going to click on the extrude button. I'm going to click on my plane or my profile. And I could extrude it one way. It even says right here, direction, one side. But if you say 2 sides, or you say asymmetric, it actually makes a symmetric handle. That's pretty good. I'm going to leave it at 0.5 centimeters. And I'm going to create a new body. I could join it, but I'm going to do something else after that. So I'm going to create a new body and click OK. Again, I have the box, the lid, and I have the body. So I'm going to click on the body. I'm going to call it the handle. Okay. If I was just going to print this flat without the inset part, this would be easy enough to print because it's flat on the bottom. It'd print up, and then it'd print this fine. But I'm going to create an inset here. Because of that, I need to be able to print the handle somewhere else, and then I can print this upside down. I'm going to print, this is going to be the bottom of the print bed, right? I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to click on that, and I want to click on the bottom of my lid. Okay. I'm going to close that a little bit. What I want to do is I want to create an offset. Just like an offset plane, an offset sketch is one that's off the one that you decide. So you can see if I click on the edge of the lid, it'll offset the sketch that you're looking at. So I can make this oval bigger, or in this case I want to make it smaller because I want it to sit inside. So I have over here 0.6. We'll give it just a millimeter of space around the box to actually fit just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I can actually highlight the inside or the outside of the box. And click Finish Sketch. Then I'm going to click on that sketch or that plane now, which is the offset. Click Extrude. I'm going to kind of pull it out. I think 0.5 is probably too much. I'm going to say 0.3. Yeah, it just needs to be a little bit so it fits inside. And the only other difference here in this extrusion is that we're going to use join because we want to join this inset lid with the lid itself and not create another body. So there we go. That is the simple box. You should be able to put this in your appendix as an example of how to create a 3D printed model. You've got the box, the lid, and handle. There'll be another video on how to color it if you'd like, and there'll be another video on how to export these so that I can print them in different colors or print them separately. And glue would just be used to put the handle on the lid. Okay. You can see at some other examples, you can get very interesting shapes by using that sketch and extrude, and then shelling, and then slicing the body, and just like I did here, or here, or here. Okay, so when you do your 3D printed box, it can be any shape. It just has to be within our size requirements. Okay. Well, I thank you very much, and enjoy.